Une mise au point aujourd'hui de la Fondation Nelson Mandela. Selon un communiqué de la Fondation, la préface écrite dans le dernier ouvrage du président congolais Denis Sassou Nguesso, intitulé « Parler vrai pour l'Afrique », n'a jamais été écrite par Nelson Mandela. La Fondation précise que l'ancien président sud-africain n'a ni lu le livre, ni écrit sa préface. Elle condamne l'utilisation abusive de son nom et se dit prête à prendre toutes les actions appropriées. Face à l'afflux de demandes, il y a un an, Nelson Mandela avait indiqué qu'il ne préfacerait plus de livres. Dans le dernier ouvrage du président congolais Denis Sassou Nguesso, intitulé « Parler vrai pour l'Afrique », la préface était présentée comme ayant été écrite par Nelson Mandela. Faux, affirme la Fondation Nelson Mandela, selon qui l'ancien président sud-africain n'a ni écrit cette préface, ni même lu le livre. La Fondation se dit prête à prendre les actions appropriées pour défendre le nom Mandela, qu'elle estime utilisé abusivement.
From Guardian.co.uk, this is Guardian Daily.
Straight Speaking for Africa is the title of the new book by Denis Sassou Nguesso, the president of Congo Brazzaville. In the book's foreword, Nelson Mandela, no less, describes Sassou Nguesso as a great African leader. The thing is, Mandela didn't write the foreword. David Smith is in Johannesburg. He says Sassou Nguesso has been a bit presumptuous.
I think most authors would be happy for a line of endorsement from a literary critic or a fellow author, or if they're really lucky, one of those messages saying, nominated for the Booker Prize. But clearly the president decided to go the whole hog and have a ringing endorsement and a foreword by Nelson Mandela, which I suppose is one step down from having the patronage of God. And this foreword describes Sassou Nguesso as one of our great African leaders, which is clearly something you'd want Nelson Mandela to say about you.
A lot of people may not know much about Congo Brazzaville or about Mr. Sassou Nguesso. I mean, can you tell us a bit about him?
Well, he does not exactly fit the Mandela democratic model, I'm afraid, in that he came to power in a coup about 30 years ago. He lost an election but regained power by winning a civil war. So the term dictator is no stranger to him. And the most recent report by Amnesty International discussed human rights defenders and journalists in Congo Brazzaville facing threats, arrests and detention. And it talked about torture and other forms of ill treatment. It's a country that's not to be confused with the Democratic Republic of Congo, which it neighbours, and is little known, and it's only really incidents like this that put it on the map, I suppose, for a lot of people. What
have the publishers said about this?
They're denying all knowledge. They said, we were just given this material and printed it. There was an initial publisher who did it in French, and they say they took it in good faith, and I suppose they assume that a head of state is not going to make stuff up. And then the English version came from a publisher based in New Jersey in the US. Again, they say simply, well, we took the version that came out in French and went ahead. There was didn't seem to be any reason to have to check the veracity of it. But although they're claiming it's all quite modest, and I suppose a book like this would not necessarily be on most people's top 10 lists for their Christmas stocking, at the same time there have apparently been quite large adverts for it, full-page, half-page adverts in the New York Times and leading American papers, so they're clearly going for it.
And what has Sassou Nguesso said now that he's been rumbled?
Funnily enough, he's lying low and not saying anything. I guess it's an embarrassing situation to be in. Maybe he'll sort of blame one of his lieutenants, but it's a hard one to get out of, really.
David Smith.